Hey, so this is personally the best PvP weapons, or some of the best that you could get. So I know Great Sword is alright, and I know Cursed Board Shield, I think it was called something. I know mainly just because they look alright together, and actually their info is actually sort of the same. You can see the shield's effect is weapon skill, but you know both their like backstories, I guess you could say, are both meant to be like near unwieldable. But you know, just like any great sword, you know, great sword doesn't actually have much unique sort of fighting or attacking, but can get pretty strong. And a lot of the weapons actually in this build are strength based. There are some dex based, and I think there was one on faith, but you know, just demonstrating the attacks now. But you know, I said that was great sword. Oh, not done. No, I thought I had another ring to show. I hadn't got it yet on this character. Alright, so the Dragon Slayer's axe is a bit later. I don't know if you have a friend or something, he can drop it for you. But this can be buffed, and it does actually have alright damage. As you can see, its basic light attacks are pretty fast. These are its heavies. Everything's the same though, doesn't really change. It's not, you know, super special. Even the two-handing, it's the same-ish. As any axe though, it's got Warcry, and sorry, just had to talk to Auntie, but no, as I said, same as any other axe, it's just that would be charge attack. But you know, as it can be buffed, has decent lightning damage, so if you chuck lightning on it, can be pretty OP. Black Knight's great axe, you can only farm as a bit close to the end of the game. Its moveset's sort of unique, as you can see. I don't. The stats for it, so I lose stamina a lot quicker. Figured I'd just chuck Ring of Havoc, give me a bit extra stamina, see if I could use it. Still didn't help. But you know, a lot of its attacks can like really destroy someone's stamina if they're blocking, and can get pretty damn strong with this. I would recommend giving it a go if you've never tried it, because you know, it's got pretty big range. There you go, Warcry again. I believe it was Warcry. Either way, it gives damage buff, I believe. So yeah, can get pretty far with its combos as well, so that works. Right, what do I do now? Great Machete, pretty basic its attacks, nothing overly special. It does have alright damage, and its skill is Sharpen, I think it was called, which gives it more damage. Or a bane a cut. But you know, pretty basic attacks. No, they would be pretty easy to dodge. So yeah, but it is alright. Yeah, what now? Oh yeah, this is actually in a DLC, the Ringed City. This is actually a extremely good weapon in my opinion for a strength build. Its effects are pretty good. It's got a lot of damage. I believe it needed 60 strength though. Same as this, can get pretty far, and its hitbox is pretty large. As you can see, it can attack pretty quick, and as just said, can get pretty far. Especially with that, doing that attack will also buffer it a bit. So I said to do something, hence why the video cut. Oh, and if you do a heavy attack, it will explode, but you do need to have the stone on. Which was same as any skill, pretty sure it was just L2. Or it's just the left trigger if you're Xbox. Dragon's Tooth, which is actually extremely close to its attack power. I actually believe it's actually slightly weaker once they're both the same level. But, you know, pretty basic. I'm sure everyone's seen or used or heard of Dragon's Tooth. Not a whole lot to say, but if you can land a couple good hits, it can wreck someone's health if they haven't tried to level up too much. But yeah, its skill stance or something I think it was called. I believe it just boosts your poise or something. Hold on. Yeah, boost poise, and I think it said damage. I was gonna bring up Havel's shield, but I don't know, figured not. Now if you're into more like small quick attack weapons like a dagger, I would say it is probably one of the best. Just because its critical is 130. As much as it is very weak, you can actually turn a dagger into like a one-shot attack. So think about that. The Black Knight Greatsword can get very early in the game if you put time into trying to farm. Can get pretty strong. Again, it's got an ability boosts your poise and I believe attack for a little bit. Its attack pattern though, not too unique. Yeah, there it is. I believe that was poise and damage buff. Black Knight Greatsword. You know, pretty much the same deal. This is just more if you prefer Ultra Greats instead of, I believe it was an Ultra Great, can't remember. But, you know, still alright. Figured I'd bring the heavy Cathedral Knight Greatsword in. Sorry, just Cathedral Knight. Can be buffed, is pretty damn strong, in my opinion. Like, I've gotten a decent amount of PvP wins using it with my Cathedral Knight build. So, it has stats like 600 something. What else did I do? This one's alright. I reckon, again, for more a heavy weapon. You may have noticed a lot of the weapons I'm showing are like heavy weapons, heavier. It's like great hammer, great sword, and whatever. Here's a slight personal preference using big, strong weapons, but you know, this is more about outputting the most amount of damage possible. So, you can see a lot of the hammers in this game have a earthquake sort of ability. So, you know, that's alright, not a lot to it. If you're a weapon that if you're a person that uses thrust sort of weapons, so like the rapier or a spear, then I would recommend using the rapier. It isn't that strong. Again, has 130 critical, or even the Gothart's go for, however you want to say it, twin swords are alright. Not as much critical, but if you use any form of weapon like that, you can use the Hornet's ring and I think it was the Leo ring. I should be equipping it in a sec. But both of which boosts critical. The Hornet ring's just for any form, so like backstab or parry. Yeah, the Leo ring, I believe it said. Wasn't paying too much attention. But, you know, that's, I believe it was, if it was just parries. I'll put both of them on, get it all scaled with your build and whatnot, you'll destroy people's health very easily. Especially if you use like the rapier or something. On X-Blade, please say it. You can coat it in dark magic by doing what I did. I can't use it, so you know, I can't do it. Greatsword is pretty fast in my opinion for its attacks. Like, look at that, it's just, if you can get the jump on someone, they're dead. Not the greatest scaling though, but yeah. It does have pretty decent range, it's pretty long. What else? Something about Smoke's great hammer, but there are quite a bit of weapons a lot stronger than it. So I probably should have cut this out, but ran out of time. But, you know, I said the on X-Blade, alright, pretty good range. I did want to get the Lothric Knight Greatsword out. Sorta looks like the Greatsword and the Cathedral Knight Greatsword. It does a decent amount of damage. I think it was about 130 whatnot for a start for both lightning and physical. So it is pretty good, and it can still be buffed on top of it. So it can get pretty damn strong. So if you're going like full on faith build and you use that and buff it, you'll obliterate your opponents, provided you can use the weapon. Yeah, again with the Cathedral Knight Greatsword, not a whole lot to it, but yeah. Just like any basic combat can get pretty strong, and if you buff it with lightning or something, it just gets even stronger. Now the ringed knight weapons, there are a lot of them, like the straight sword, the great sword, and the paired ultra great swords. Don't have a lot of fire damage, but a lot of them are pretty quick. And the fire is more just a bonus. Look at that, like, start walking someone new or something like that, they're gonna shit themselves. It's the new of the game or something. As you see, I can't use its effect because I can't wield the sword. Because this is a strength level build, so. I mean, and if you don't really entirely like the Ring Knight's weapons, then, I mean, hell, Steel Fashion Souls, the swords look alright. In personal opinion. Now, for a lot of these I would recommend trying to be able to have a decent amount of stamina, because they are large weapons and they take a lot of stamina, or even the Farron ring, which is alright, because a lot of them use the focus points or mana, whatever you want to call it. So yeah. If you do intend to go for the thrust build, do all the critical, I would recommend getting the first Covenant reward item of Rosario's Fingers, which will require 10 pale tongues. As you can see, I did not quite have enough. I don't quite have enough. It makes you, I believe, 100% invisible to your opponent if you're far enough away. Or even if you use the night string. Sorry, I can't remember the name. Sorry, I can't remember the name, but that makes opponents lose more stamina when guarding. That has the same effect as parrying, I believe. So, you know, it can be quite a strong build if you go for thrust weapons, but and I guess that's it. That's said, that's personal opinion. Tell me if there's anything you reckon should be changed, and well, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.